After the India-Pakistan conflict erupted, Paki Sharma mocked Pakistan's international isolation on her show, suggesting India gained more support. In fact, China and Turkey swiftly airlifted weapons to Pakistan, and global Muslim populations universally condemned India's hegemonic mindset. However, India's so-called friend France, a mere arms supplier, lacks any true friendship. France is upset over its fighters being shot down, hoping India stops using Rafale to avoid further embarrassment. Israel supports any conflict against Muslim nations, but offers only verbal backing. Russia, with Putin busy parading with Xi Jinping, has no time for Modi. India's last hope, the US, which Indian netizens expected to deploy carrier strike groups to support India against China and Pakistan, shows no interest in the conflict, merely having Secretary of State Rubio call for mediation. Trump was furious upon learning of Modi's airstrikes on Pakistan, calling them utterly foolish. Meanwhile, India's son-in-law, U.S. Vice President Vance, recently interacted warmly with Modi in India but transformed upon returning to the U.S. On May 10th, he told Reuters that tensions between India and Pakistan need de-escalation, adding that the U.S. cannot control these nuclear-armed Asian neighbors. If war breaks out, it is fundamentally not our business. This is the outcome of India's decades of great power diplomacy, a true global orphan without a single friend. On YouTube, except for Indian netizens entertaining themselves, global internet users relentlessly mock the Indian Air Force's thrashing by Pakistan. Netizens in South Asian countries around India, including Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives, largely condemn India's military bullying. These nations, having endured severe Indian interference in their internal affairs, remain deeply wary of India. For a country as aggressive and notorious as India, no one wishes for its victory. India resembles a vulture, swooping wherever profit lies. It shows no loyalty to allies, discarding them once their value diminishes. It always needs a master, eager to serve the strongest power. After the British Empire's decline, India gained independence. For decades, its primary backer was the Soviet Union and later Russia. But when the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia's strength waned, and it became embroiled in the Ukraine war. India promptly betrayed Russia. Modi made a high-profile visit to Ukraine, showcasing friendship with Zelensky. Meanwhile, Indians resold Russian energy for massive profits, paying in rupees, leaving Russians unable to buy critical strategic supplies. India has consistently acted as the US's proxy within BRICS, opposing BRICS payment systems and de-dollarization while refusing to exit the group, which is utterly repulsive. To please its American master, Modi personally flew to Washington to meet Trump, only to be publicly humiliated when Trump announced new tariffs. Trump explicitly called India the world's highest tariff nation. Clearly, in Trump's eyes, this disloyal two-faced snake is entirely untrustworthy. Yet this does not curb India's fantasies about the U.S., with media hyping purchases of F-35, U.S. carrier groups aiding India, and Vance's wife as a bridge for U.S.-India friendship. In reality, Vance's disdain for India is plain. As a ceremonial vice president, he acted like the master during Modi's visit, with Modi resembling a humble servant respectfully hosting him. The scene mirrored a medieval king inspecting a noble's estate. Authorized by Trump to handle tax negotiations and possibly lead this critical policy, Vance naturally shows no respect for a weak nation like India. How else could he face rivals like China or the EU? Vance's Indian wife will not be India's savior, but a threat. Under Trump's America First ideology, her non-white identity raises doubts about Vance's ability to execute Trump's policies. Moreover, Vance once openly opposed Trump, calling him America's Hitler. To appease his master, Vance must demonstrate toughness toward India to reassure Trump. Thus, Vance will not advocate for India's interests but will be harsher than others. Most politicians act similarly. The Biden administration appointed Tai as trade representative to negotiate tariffs with China, and such American Chinese officials often prove tougher than their white counterparts. India should learn from Pakistan, observing how Pakistan earned China's steadfast friendship. When China was not yet powerful, Pakistani leaders thoughtfully chose to tie their fate to China. During Pakistan's difficult moments, China provided weapons and material aid. Despite Western overtures and equipping F-16, Pakistan upheld its bond with China. This friendship, forged through generations, enduring crises and temptations, is truly robust and effective in critical times. Indian media obsess over Modi shaking hands with world leaders, engaging in grand rhetoric, and boasting of great power status, believing these signify friendship. In reality, after Pakistan's humiliation of India, netizens in nearly every country mock India. Even France, dragged down by selling Rafale to India, becomes a laughingstock. As India faces crisis, most nations gloat. Netizens in Nepal, Bangladesh, and elsewhere cheer Pakistan, urging them to crush the Indian military's arrogance. Muslim nations like Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Middle East celebrate on social media. India's self-proclaimed democratic allies, the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, see almost no public support for India, despite India's belief in its role as a bulwark against China. The mockery from these nations' publics reveals the West's true view of India. To have real friends, a nation must build infrastructure, grow its economy, improve living standards, and share economic benefits with friendly countries for mutual prosperity. The U.S. achieved its global status through Roosevelt's strategy as the arsenal of democracy, followed by policies like the Marshall Plan, enabling the West to thrive with the U.S. Today, China shares prosperity with friends through initiatives like the Belt and Road, fostering collective progress. India, with its feeble national strength, dreams of emulating Hitler's racial oppression and fascism, only to end up like Mussolini's Italy, a global laughingstock.